Oh, look at this lively chat already. Yeah, I was not there yet when you said that. Um, Wait, does it tell you, does it not uh calculate your time zones when it tells you my schedule? Because I set it at 5 p.m. for me, but I'm seeing some confusion here in the chat. Did it tell you? Okay, so it does adapt. Good. Um, is that parrot meant to represent me, Natasha? I'm honored if so. Bob was here just a second ago, and he vacated as soon as I pulled out the apparatus. He doesn't love being on camera sometimes. But hello everybody. Um, Welcome to my party. Speaking of which, I'm gonna waste no time. So I want to show you something. Like I don't know what kind of impression you have of the lifestyle that I live out here, but I don't have a lot of fun here at the Outpost. It is much more labor and struggle than it is kicking back and having good times. So as you can see, my shelf here, it's just food and seasonings, and then way at the back, we have a lone bottle of liquor, which is still unopened from Christmas, still sealed. I'm gonna have to see if I can pop this open one-handed. But I don't get to drink much anymore. I don't get to uh, like take a day off very often because I'm grinding. I'm on the grind. I'm trying really hard to get a house. So I'm taking every little gig that I can find and just basically saying yes to everything that makes money. And I'm almost there. I will tell you, this is not like the endless cycle kind of thing where I just say, like, someday I'll have enough. No, I know exactly how much I need. In fact, I already have kind of a house. This is proving more difficult than I expected. I'm going to see if I can set this down and use both hands here. Damn plastic wrap. This whiskey is, I don't know what kind this is. Never had it before. Rifle rye? Oh, I get it. Like rifle, like the rifle. Oh, Canadian rye. Okay, that doesn't even seem like it is a thing. I thought it has to be from Tennessee to be rye, but whatever. I'm not going to complain. It was a gift from my brother-in-law for Christmas, and great. Now I have to try to open the cork with one hand. Once again, I'm setting you down to open the cork. Don't you love that sound? So as I was saying, I don't really hardly ever drink anymore because I've reached the age where there's no safe zone for drinking. Let's see if I can let you enjoy the rare pleasure of this. I drink so rarely, I don't even have like an actual tumbler. Best I could do was this camp mug. Hopefully, it does not destroy the taste of the stuff. But yeah, I can't I get a hangover no matter what I drink, even if it's like a sip. Well, I can probably do one sip, but like half a shot and I'll feel it a little bit. It's not disastrous, but it's enough to kind of fog my brain a little and make it unable to think of um, razor sharp dialogue. Wait, Rita Smith? You're not the Rita from Fremont Coffee, are you? The name sounds very familiar. That would be random to see old friends pop up here. I kind of generally assume that people from real life don't cross over into YouTube world, but that would be fun. Yes, it is the weekend, and so I I had this realization today. I've just been like, I don't take weekends. Even like in the writing gigs that I do now, like writing for these video games and everything, they all work for companies, so like they get their time off. It's mandated. The Friday rolls around, they're out of there. They're clocked out, and I'm just like, bye guys, I'll be here continuing to grind away. And so I pretty much don't take days off unless I really want to, unless there's like some compelling reason, like something happening that I is too exciting to say no to. And this is not really that, but I realized today, like, you know what? I'm actually doing pretty good on this project. I'm ahead of schedule, so there's no reason that I have to preserve my mental clarity. I can have a Sunday tomorrow, so I'm gonna have a Sunday, and I'm gonna have a Saturday tonight. So cheers to all of you. This is God, first liquor I've tasted in months, I think. I had like a beer last weekend, but anyway, cheers. Damn, that's very smooth. I don't know what it is with the Canadians and their smoothness. All Canadian whiskey is like almost too smooth. It's like, did I even drink whiskey? Now there's a little burn at the end there, but it's kind of a shame that I don't have a transparent glass because you can't see the proper enjoyment of the liquid. But I do miss I miss drinking to be honest. It's partly how much I've been working lately, but also there's just not occasion to drink very often because like I don't go out around here. Very occasionally, like every few weeks, I'll go to my friend Liz's house, who I've mentioned in a previous video, who's an hour and a half away, and there's a little pub in her tiny tiny town that we go out and like have a beer and a burger or something. But it's a special treat, rare occasion. So feels nice, warm. I'm gonna. The chat box on this thing is way too small. It only shows me like four at a time. So I'm gonna skim back here because I feel like I missed a bunch while I was rambling there. But good. I was gonna ask. So Justin there mentions he's getting his drink now. Uh, Not that I'm here to like actively promote alcoholism, but it's fun to it's a social activity. That's why I always had a hard time kind of like not drinking as much as I would like to, because when I try to go out with people who are drinking, I feel like I can't. I'm on a different planet than they are, so it doesn't feel fun. So I even when I lived in the city, I kind of dropped out of that culture because I just couldn't spare the days for it. So Rita mentioned that it's not a good idea to be drinking very much out there. Got to keep my wits about me. That's probably true, particularly because that gun doesn't work, as I just discovered. That was a gift. Also a gift. Like everything you're seeing around me is a gift that I've accumulated. I don't really buy much stuff for myself anymore. But very shortly after I arrived on this property, my neighbor gave me that rifle because he's like, you got to have a gun. You can't be out here without a gun. And he has like hundreds of them. So he gave me his hand me down rifle, and it was all jammed up, and I took it apart and started to learn how to clean guns and did a pretty good job of it. Except I cleaned it out real nice, and then I couldn't figure out how to get it back together. So, and I felt stupid at first, but then I gave it back to my neighbor who's like a gun pro, and he couldn't figure it out either because it's just like micro components in this thing. And I took it to the gunsmith, and they put it back together, but then it wouldn't eject the shells properly when it fired. So I took it back there again, and I was like, guys, this thing doesn't shoot right. Can you fix it? And they had it for like 3 months. And I finally got it back and had one day where it was shooting real smoothly, and I was like, oh, this is fun. And I started collecting soda cans for targets, and then it started jamming up again. So fuck it, I'm done. Oh, there he is. Welcome to the show, Bobo. Where are you? He's hiding behind me. Come on, bud. Say hi to your fans. So, yeah, I do have to keep my wits about me. Um, but I'm actually going to go over to my neighbor's house after this and probably drink more. So we'll protect each other from the beasts. Rob McElhenney? I don't know who that is. You have to narrow it down to the show and character or whatever. Um, the boots are holding up well. The Cal sponsored boots. Although the weather changed right after I made that video and it hasn't been wet for a long time, so I don't really need to use them much anymore. But why Revedenu is confused. It's not my birthday. Oh, someone had said happy birthday. Okay, I get it. Yeah, so it's a arbitrary number, but can't help but look forward to that nice round 10. Um, it happened faster than I expected. Uh, Mostly thanks to my other cat, my former cat. Why does he keep hiding behind me? Come on, bud. Give the people what they want. Um, but yeah, it got up to 10,000. It's actually up to 10,300 now. So I just thought, like, what the hell? I should have a little party since I don't have a lot of chances to party otherwise. Um, so I've only done one live stream before. I'm going to go outside now because it's actually quite warm in here. Hopefully the wind isn't too overwhelming out here. I have my little thing on the microphone, the furry thing that they, unfortunately, it's called a dead cat. We don't use that term here, but that is the technical term. And this is it, guys. Live in person, the property, the outpost itself. Still no sighting. But damn, wow, those clouds came in fast. It was like clear skies and sunlight when I stepped out here a second ago. Thank you, Rita. And thank you everyone for the congratulations. It's a strange thing because I find this is how it continues to happen for me, is that I plug away at something, whether it's YouTube or vehicle approaching, but not to me. YouTube or my books or whatever it is. I hear there's a voice somewhere off in that valley speaking into a loudspeaker. I can't understand what they're saying, but it startled me. But yeah, I tend to continue. I'll be working on something, and then out of nowhere, I'll have one thing that just blows up. And usually it's something that's very different from anything else that I do. In this case, it was a video about my cat, which is not really what this channel is about. It's not something I can continue other than this guy's always here. I know he's hiding behind me when I try to get a shot of him. So I can always exploit him a little bit more, but I can't have a super emotional, dramatic story about a lost cat every time. And it's similar with my writing career. That voice, can you guys hear that? It's kind of distracting. With my writing career is Warm Bodies, which first and only time I ever wrote about zombies. And that was the thing that blew up. And so I got pulled into, this strange world of paranormal romance and monsters and stuff that I don't normally hang out in. Didn't really know anything about it. And that became my writing career. And so I had to then figure out, like, what do I do with this? How do I follow that up? Because like I'm not a zombie guy. It's not the world that I want to stay in. and have yet to figure that out, how to get out of that world, honestly. We'll see what happens with this next book, which is quite a departure. But yeah, funny that it happens again with my YouTube channel, because now I'm like, everyone wants to hear about cats, and that's not what I have to tell. So I appreciate what you're saying, that this about the storytelling, and that's the only thing that is consistent with all my videos, is that's it's my writing, it's my voice, literally and figuratively. So that's consistent. But as far as content, I'm still kind of trying to figure it out. I think I like to talk about nature and seasons, and I just did one about the spring shift. By the way, a little spoiler, but those flowers have finally started to bloom. Um, I'll spoil a surprise for you live stream viewers, because I set this thing up here. This little trail cam, which is like locked in this position, and I got a shot of me walking out there when there was no flowers and it was all dead, and I go like this. And then when they're all bloomed, I'm gonna repeat the shot from the exact same position, and and then cut it so that it looks like I magicked the spring into being, and hopefully it will look awesome. But so you're throwing a lot of hard to pronounce names at me tonight. But Jigyansu asked about how do I do research for things I don't know anything about. Honestly, that's my least favorite part about writing about reality, is that you're limited by things that are real. So you actually have to research things, and sometimes the stories can't go where you wanted them to go because reality doesn't allow it. So my recent book, The Overnoise, is 90% reality based, and in particular has to do with a lot of things. There's stuff to do with a certain kind of technology, like wireless technology and sound, and then also like the music industry. And both of those things I had to do a ton of research into to try to make a plausible scenario for that. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to do this again. I don't like writing. I don't like being restrained by reality. I like to make up my own realities. So, yeah, if you can stay in a world that you can create, it sure is a lot more fun. Well, Justin, I appreciate that. The journey is what I set out to do with this channel. It actually got kind of cold out here. I'm gonna put my jacket on. I started this channel with no particular ideas in mind, other than just like to share the lifestyle out here. And I mean, you're looking at it. Here's the lifestyle. Life in a box with this man, Mr. Butthole. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna set you there. Let you watch Bob munch on this piece of plastic. There you go. You and Bob can hang out while I get my jacket. Bob found the plastic from the whiskey bottle. He's trying to partake. He loves the crunch. Okay. Yeah, right. 420. Don't get to do a lot of that either, unfortunately. Not that I get a hangover from it, but once again, I just don't really have the occasion. I hate to tell you guys, but I think a lot of people have like a fantasy about the simple life you can live out in the wilderness, but the reality is it takes a lot of work to keep it going. And I do think there's a time down the road where, the most of the work is over, where I can start living that fantasy life a little more. But I'm not there yet. I'm still in struggle world. And in this world, it's just like I don't get to chill that much. This is why today's a special occasion for me. Let's give me back a little. Thank you all for coming to this, by the way. This is much better attended than my last time I did a live stream, which was, I think, maybe that's probably about a month ago, actually. Funny thing about getting more subscribers, with my videos themselves, the views haven't really gone up. Like, when I first started the channel and I had almost no subscribers, they all, averaged about the same amount that they're averaging now. And now I have more than 10,000 subscribers and it's still the same amount of views. From what I gather, something I've actually wanted to make a video about, or at least a short post or something, because I feel like people kind of need to know how to use YouTube now. It's not clear anymore how it's meant to be used, because people think that if you subscribe to somebody, that means that it'll send you their posts. But in reality, it's barely a suggestion. It's definitely not, they don't have to do it at all. The only thing subscribing really does is it gives you that subscriber tab. So what I've started doing, this was suggested by a lot of other YouTubers who are trying to kind of reclaim their audience from the algorithm, is bookmark your subscription tab, not YouTube homepage. And I did that, and it's so much better because now I go to YouTube and I see all the people that I chose to subscribe to, so I never miss their videos. They're all laid out for me. Usually I run out of their videos, and then I go to the homepage to get recommended stuff to me. But YouTube, for some reason, wants you to ignore your subscriptions and just go straight to the homepage and get fed more and more bullshit. I don't know why. I don't know why they care. If you're watching the people you chose from, why is that worse than watching the recommendations? But for whatever reason, it is. So that's a great plan, ambiguous sarcasm. I might get lit tonight myself. Since it is such a rare occasion, and since I'm going over to my cowboy neighbors after this, probably going to bring this bottle of whiskey and share it with the group, so it'll probably be drained quickly. But this is smooth drinking. Who's that? Good one, McDonald. The person behind me is Bob, as always. He's going to tend the campfire. By the way, the mysterious voice that we heard earlier. So, this strange phenomenon down in the valley, every Saturday, there's some kind of party that goes on down there. And I don't know where it is. I've never been able to triangulate the position. But it's some kind of concert or something. I don't know if it's live music or a DJ or something. But yeah, it's so Brewster, this is the town Brewster, is basically all Mexico. There's almost no white people here. If you go down into the town, all the signs are in Spanish. You would think you're in Mexico. And it's it really feels like you're in a different country. And they have a lot of events in the quinceañeras and events that you only know about if you know somebody. They're not on the internet or publicized in any way. So there's a lot of mysterious concerts and parties and stuff that go on down there that I will probably never get access to. Although my neighbor's son knows Spanish, and he's got invited to a couple of them, and I've wanted to go out and party with that guy. He's 21, so that'd be an interesting night. But yeah, I haven't really ventured out socially too much here. Hola from Madrid. I love how international this crew is. I saw somebody from Sweden earlier. It's probably more interesting for people who are not in America, because this is I mean, you can't really tell so much from where I sit, but the area that I live in is like America. It is, the classical old west cowboy kind of country. Like everything out there. Right now, it's uncharacteristically green. This springtime, it greens up for like a month maybe, and then this will all turn brown in like sagebrush uh, for the rest of the year, and it'll look exactly like every Western movie you've ever seen. Oh my God, so many internationals in here. We got Hungary, Ireland, Sweden, Madrid, well, Spain, um, and of course London. I kind of feel like a pseudo citizen of England right now, with the amount of time I spent there last year, at the end of last year. Supposedly, I might be coming back next month. I'm waiting for an update from the UK video game, which I still can't name. But yeah, we got Australia. My God, we have like every continent represented here. That's fantastic. That is a funny thing about YouTube. It really does not discriminate where it sends the videos. They just go wherever they're wanted. And thanks, Tammy. Um, yeah, I mean the 10K thing is just kind of my excuse to my premise for this live stream. Um, it's an excuse for me to kick back and celebrate a little. I admit, I mean, I worked pretty hard for that. Like I've got, what is it, like 11 videos now. Each one of those took at least a week to make. Some of them took multiple weeks. When I was, the longer ones where I had to compose all that music and record it. Honestly, I put too much effort into this for what it is, because it slows me down so much. People keep saying like, how come you take so long to upload, and you should do one every week? And I realize that's kind of what it takes to make things work on YouTube. You have to be really consistent and feed the algorithm. But I don't really know how to do anything of value in that much time. I mean, if I had a whole week to do it, certainly I could do it, but I have all this other stuff eating up my time. So I squeeze in these videos like wherever I can, but my hair is really tall today. I don't know what's going on there. There's no product in here. This is just how it popped out. By the way, I took a shower today. A little news for you. Hygiene has re-entered the chat. This is what I used all of last year. I'm gonna try to flip this around. I've had problems with my little phone mic here when I flip the camera. So let me know if the audio changes when I do this. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep talking because I want to show you my shower setup here. So this is what I do for my shower. This thing is, I mean, I can't exactly strongly recommend it because it's very sensitive to wind, which has been really frustrating. I've had to build this, like the wind knocked this over, but it's supposed to be, a little box here to keep this protected from the wind because the slightest gust blows out the flames. But it's a propane thing, and it runs off my well and gives me a nice hot shower. Here's my my shower floor. And there's my Hygiene. I have upgraded. I was originally using the old 2-in-1 for everything. Well, it says 2-in-1, but I was using it for 3-in-1, I guess. And now I got some actual shampoo. So product placement. But yeah, all of the winter I've been showering in the sink like I showed you in those other videos. This is cracking me up. I don't know why it's flying skyward like that. But yeah, and I got used to just kind of like I would shampoo my hair in the sink, but I really didn't bathe very much. Like if I needed to, I could do the old whore bath thing with the rag, but to be honest, I just kind of didn't most of the time. I would take my showers at friends' houses and just sort of get used to it otherwise. But now that it's warm enough to fire that thing up again, It really feels nice to be clean, I gotta say. I just feel lighter. Like the way that the air feels on your skin is different. Like when you're just kind of sweaty and sticky, it's like there's a shield between you and the air, and now I can just feel it everywhere. It's beautiful. Gumby, you say? Gumby didn't even have hair. Oh, I guess he had that shape, right? Is that what you're referring to? He's kind of had like corner of his head. Well, it's time for a refill for me. Um, who else is drinking with me? And what are you drinking? For those who missed the beginning, this is what I'm up to. I keep showing you products, but I swear these are not sponsored. Um, I just want to share my good times with you. The only sponsorships I've gotten, for some reason, I don't know what's going on, but the waterproof boots love me. I got the ones boots that I did the video about, and after that I got another sponsorship from Rubber Boots. Slightly different boots, shorter ones, like more practical everyday rubber boots, I guess. Um, which I'm yet to do a video about. And then I also got waterproof socks, which is a weird concept that I need to think about before I review. But yeah, I don't know why it's like waterproof everything. It's kind of funny because I live in like the driest area on the whole West Coast, pretty much. And people keep sending me waterproof stuff, which I can only use in like the peak of winter. What I really need is like hot weather stuff, or better yet, I don't know, what would I most want to sponsor to get receive free products? Probably like food products. Um, maybe camera gear. That'd be nice. I could sponsor. I could promote some camera gear. Speedos. Yes, there we go. Push my boundaries. Maybe that's what it'll take to get me to exploit my body is a sponsorship. Just need to be paid. Cat food. That would be nice. I did get a cat related sponsorship that I had to say no to. Somebody offered me uh, a very expensive like litter robot thing. You know, like the litter boxes, the automatic litter boxes. But it requires a hookup to a plumbing line that I don't have. So I'm like, well, I'd love to, but I can't use it because I don't have plumbing. And it was pretty funny trying to explain to this guy. I kept telling him like, so does this require a drain for the plumbing? Because I don't have any plumbing. And he's like, yes, you just hook it up to your toilet. I'm like, no, I don't have a toilet. Uh, is there any way to use this thing without having a toilet or a bathroom of any kind? He's like, yeah, you just hook it up to your bathroom line. Like, you're not hearing me. It's like you people cannot comprehend that someone could exist without a bathroom, which is fair enough, understandable. But yeah, I couldn't use it, so I had to turn it down. Also, Bob barely uses the litter box. He does for some reason, so his litter box is under the bed here. Um, it's really hard to show you stuff, but I have, my elevated bed, and he has the litter box under there for emergencies. But ideally, in the summer, he doesn't use it much at all. Somebody asked me something important back here. Um, yes, Amazon can find me. Thank God. Uh, I unfortunately have to rely on them for a lot of my stuff because there's just no real stores out here. Walmart is as good as it gets, and I have this unfortunate trait of enjoying quality things and preferring to, you know, invest in quality merchandise that is not going to fall apart. And so I don't like to just buy like the quickest crap that I can find because I'm tired of having disposable junk in my life. So I tend to search for something that's like actually good, and you just can't buy good things in retail stores anymore. If you want quality anything, you have to go either to like a big city where there's some boutique store of some kind, or you have to go online. So I just get pretty much everything online. Let's see, we're drinking coffee. Seeing a lot of coffee in here. This must be the international crowd. Spiked blueberry lemonade. That sounds fun. Tristan asked if I'm still writing or taking a break. So it's it's kind of a sore subject for me because uh, I have this book, The Overnoise, which I very long story short, I'm writing another draft of it, or I'm editing another draft before it goes back out into the publishing world, because I realized that there was some problems with it and it just wasn't quite there as much as we thought it was, me and my editor. So I'm sort of going back to the drawing board with it and am trying to work on this new draft, but I keep getting pulled away by this other stuff. So I'm like I'm very sore about it because it feels like business is taking away my art basically, because I'm being sort of forced to sell out in order to get this house that I need. And and I'm not really selling out, but in the sense that I'm taking jobs that pay money rather than reserving my time for my own work, which is goes against a lot of the fiber of my being, but it's just where you find yourself sometimes. So it is a temporary situation. I believe. I insist. I won't, because it's my choice ultimately. And basically, I'm just demoting my art to a hobby until I get enough money to get this cabin. And I'm not. I feel somewhat comfortable with that idea because um, it's pretty close. This isn't like someday, years from now, I will buy this cabin and then I will finish my novel. It's like very immediate future. In fact, I actually have. I recently found. I haven't mentioned this yet. I'm kind of still giddy about it, but I've been searching for a housing solution the whole time I've been out here, and I've gone through so many different versions of it. I've tried so many different things. I had this very ill-fated, disastrous attempt to get a tiny house, like a kind on wheels. I don't even want to go into that story. Suffice to say, it didn't work out, and I lost a ton of money. um, and I've tried all these, different versions of alternative cheap housing, and I finally found a place. For some reason, it's really good and it's affordable. I don't know why. My only theory is that it's just because it's so remote. It's way, way out there, like far, far north of here, like near the Canadian border in a very remote area. And that's where their operations are set up. And I think they just don't know that it's 2024 and you're supposed to rip people off now. They haven't gotten the memo about that. And so they're still charging reasonable prices and building quality structures using good materials. So I discovered that like a week ago, and I'm so excited because they can build me something that is kind of like almost my fantasy. It's like not just a shed; it's almost kind of a house. It actually would have like a bedroom, possibly even two bedrooms. Everything's very compressed, but like it's a functional home with rooms and a bathroom and everything. And it's like I went out there and the guy was really cool and really nice and just like happy to talk to me. And he sat down at the computer and drew up my design right in front of me, and gave me the estimate. And I was like, I could actually afford this like right now. The catch, of course, what I didn't mention is that it's um, it's just the shell of the house, so it's like an empty box, much like the shed was when I got it. So I still have a huge project ahead of me when I do this in building out the interior of the thing, but I've already done it. I did this place, and it wasn't that bad. So you can save a lot of money by doing the interior, because the same house, If I were to buy a traditional like mobile home, it would be like two or three times the cost because they just I don't know why. Why, Bob? Why is that? Um, no, I mean, do send me, Natasha. I'm always happy to get more information. But this place is basically a modular home. It's kind of like a hybrid of like a shed conversion and a modular home. They make these really high quality cabins that they build them in their warehouse using traditional stick built structure. It's not like it's built on a trailer or anything, and then they send it to you in parts, so you can get it bigger than a typical prefab shed would be able to go because they're like like mobile homes with a double wide. They send two parts and they connect them. So anyway, I won't get too deep into that, but I'm really excited about that. And the point is that it means that I might be able to be free soon because I'm still waiting for the final estimate, but I believe I have enough money to pull the trigger on that right now. It would put me in an uncomfortable place, and I wouldn't have any money to finish the inside. But I could get the shell. I could get a foundation poured. I could get the house placed on it, and then like figure out later where to get the money to insulate it and plumb it and electrical and drywall and all that stuff. So if I can do that now, then all the money that I make from then on is you know bonus because like I already have what I really need. Yes, Emily's Red Dead 2. It's very much like that. In fact, um, uh, they had a kit like the old fashioned. I think like the early Sears kit. I don't know if it was Sears yet at that time in history, but it's like pre-cut lumber and everything. You just hammer it together. That kind of thing does still exist, but I think it's just not that practical anymore because um, I've seen those kits for tiny houses, and it's not that much cheaper. And it's like, well, if you're already paying, 20,000 or something, pay 3,000 more and have them build it for you and not fuck it up. It seems worth it. I buy that clothing. What I'm wearing here, yes, I bought this. Uh, I bought a lot of clothing in years past. I kind of like had a big wardrobe shift in my, I guess, mid 30s. Pushed away one version of my life, my style, and got a bunch of clothes that just like worked for me. And spent a lot of money in that era, but then I hardly ever have to buy any clothes since because I kind of have it all. I have my closet is set, so that's comforting. Once in a while, something blows out or like it doesn't fit anymore. You know, not quite as thin as I was when I lived in Seattle. Uh, so yeah, some of my pants aren't as comfortable as they used to be. But doing a lot of work. What can I say? A little bulk comes on. Thank you. Happy Mondays. Um, it feels good. Like I can see the end of on the horizon because right now I'm about to wrap up the first video game that I did, and the second one uh, is still very much in progress. But that project is so exciting and also so lucrative that it's like, well, yeah, it's a no brainer. Like I've got to finish that because if that actually goes through, and I am the writer on this game, it's going to be really a cool moment for me because it's like the game itself is not huge. I think it will be kind of closer to the indie side of things, but it's being made by like a pretty big company, and I think they have. I can't tell you who the company is. I can't tell you anything about the game, but they have like a really big kind of AAA level game coming out very soon, and this game is sort of like their indie division or something. It will be on Xbox for sure, probably not PlayStation because of that, or at least not for a certain amount of time. I don't know how those exclusivities work, but it will be probably on PC. I don't know. All I know is Xbox. Um, but yeah, it's I would think it would be on PC as well. It seems like a PC game. It's kind of like one of those weird esoteric games that you don't often see on console. So yeah, as soon as I get the go ahead to share, basically the reason I can't share anything about it yet is because they have this big game coming out that they're entirely focused on, and they don't want to take any media attention away from that, and they're saving announcing my involvement for like when they're ready to talk about this game again. So it's like sort of tied up in their marketing efforts, which is frustrating because it's been months now, and I people know I'm in Cambridge, but a few people have figured out who the company probably is just because like how many video game companies are there in a small town in England, but they still don't know what the game is because that is top secret. So goodbye, Carrie. And Emily wants to know what my go-to comfy clothes are when it's cold. Well, I would show you, but I actually just finished converting my wardrobe for this season. Because as you can see, don't have a whole lot of closet space. There was a time when this was much more organized, but it's not ideal. I built this thing myself, this closet structure. There's no drawers or anything. These boxes are the best thing I can do for a drawer. Bob's gonna model it for you. But it's just like unless you fold every single item, every time you take it off, it's just very hard to maintain order on this setup. So um, I just switched over from my winter wardrobe. So every year I get to grab all my coats and heavy clothes and stuff them in a bag and take them into my storage unit and then pull out the summer bag, which is my t-shirts and such, and replace my entire closet. So it honestly, I appreciate that, Emily, but it gets better than this. I mean, this is probably as bad as it can get because I'm literally just stuffing everything in there. At least I have some stuff on hangers. But it's just, if you don't have drawers, you can only really stack things one layer deep, and it's really hard to. I don't know what the solution is. Also, this guy, whenever I get really neat in there, he loves to climb in there and just like pull stuff out. I actually have a video. I have him on video of him climbing into my sock box and just physically, individually pulling socks out and throwing them on the ground. So that's what I'm dealing with here. This shithead. And he has no remorse. Look at that utter remorselessness. Do you feel anything, sir? Sock thief. Yeah, I'm blaming Bob. It's his fault entirely. Natasha asked about coffee. Meanwhile, did I already refill my whiskey? I can't remember if I did this already. Feeling good. Gotta say. Oh shit. I'm actually supposed to be having smoked chicken over at my neighbor's house right now. But I'm having too much fun here. What can I say? I'm gonna go scope them out though. I'll show you how far away they live. They run a very casual ship over there. It's like I really shouldn't let them see me live streaming. That would be embarrassing. If that was my reason for not showing up. These guys though, they eat like kings. They have like serious smoking technology over there. Really nice barbecue. They make the most fabulous meals, and compared to the way I eat, it's just mind-blowingly good. Yeah, they can't see me. I don't think they know that I'm like an internet whore. There's one guy, like the guys over here. Um, see if you can see them. So that house, they actually do follow me, which was really a shock to find out about because they're like um, pretty old. And in fact, they could be in the chat now for all I know. But they somehow found me and like followed my Instagram. I don't know what their names are, so I don't know who I'm interacting with. But they whenever I'll like run into them off on the trails out here, and they'll roll up on their four-wheeler and be like, "Hey, I saw your new video." It's like, oh shit. I never really think about the potential audience when I post these videos. Oh, yeah, the coffee. I like light roast coffee actually, light or medium. I usually end up buying medium because light is kind of hard to find. But I was kind of a coffee nerd back in the day when I lived in Seattle, and I got into the whole, I forget which number it is, like fourth wave or something. The era of coffee that came after Starbucks, where it was like specialty coffee. And they sold me on like the light roast stuff, the kind of fruity, Ethiopian style coffee. And I really enjoy that, but it depends on really the condition. Like I like that stuff when I'm hungover. Like light roast is nice for hangovers when you're just like not feeling that great. But I think I like a richer sort of muddy cup when I'm, in my full powers. So medium or light. Dark I'm really not a fan of. I'll drink anything though. But yes. um what am I missing here? Somebody mentioned that I should do this more. I should like pick a day and just do this regularly, which makes sense. Um, the only problem with that is then it's sort of restrictive, and I guess a lot of like serious YouTubers actually run their whole life around their YouTube channel, which is probably what you have to do to succeed. It's tricky though, because like if I were to do say every Saturday 5 o'clock I'll live stream, then what if I want to go out with friends on a Saturday night or something? So I got to figure something out that doesn't infringe on my life too much. Maybe if I did it on a weekday or something, that might be safer. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out, by the way, and I guess you could say I'm here, but I'm eager to get some input from you guys because I should have said this a long time ago in this stream, but like part of the reason I wanted to do a stream related to my 10K subscriber milestone is that I'm trying to figure out like what to do with this channel. What is the future of Outer Edge Outpost? Like because I have some ideas, but I'm sort of confused and disillusioned by the way that YouTube is operating because I post things that I think that seem aligned with what this channel is about, and then like nobody sees them. And it's not even like that you choose not to watch them. It's just like YouTube doesn't show it to you because like my last video, the one about springtime, literally 1/10 of my subscribers were shown that video. And which seems weird to me because it's like it was mostly about Bob. Everyone's here for the cats. So I'm like, all right, I'll indulge y'all. I'll make a video that's like decadent cat footage, the best cat footage I've ever had, and like nobody watched it. So I guess I don't people say you have to really like pick a theme, pick a niche and lock into it with YouTube. I really don't want to do that because that's just I don't have a niche. It's just my life. I don't have anything that I can reliably talk about other than just, the overall abstraction of this world. I am the niche. Thank you. I appreciate that. I guess that's what I hope because that's all I can do. That's all I have to offer is just my life. I don't have a shtick. I'm not like going to teach you how to build outhouses or talk about the latest TV show. Although Fallout was the only media artifact that I thought like I could probably justify talking about this because I feel like Fallout is like half of my identity, and I'm really enjoying that show. But I don't know. I did originally when I first started the channel. In my little trailer, I promised that I was going to do reviews of art, books, movies, video games, etc. And kind of realized that's just too far afield. I have to like have some focus on my theme. Can't be just darting all over the place. But I guess you're right. Yeah, just create stuff I love and keep going with that. Oh, you want me to play piano? You want me to play piano on live? I got you. I will give you a concerto, the likes of which you've never seen. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. No, that's not Bob's piano. That's my friend Liz found that piano at Burning Man. That's the story behind that piano. And she brought it home and had no use for it, and I was like, I'll take it, sure. And I played it for a few days. I thought maybe I'd find a way to use it in my music, but it sounded like shit even before I left it out in the rain for an entire winter. So now it's completely unplayable. That was the first time I've heard it since winter hit, and it's not even notes anymore. So R.I.P. to the toy piano. Oh, the electric piano. Yeah. Yeah, I mean I could play real music for you. I won't tonight because I got to get over to my friend's house, my neighbor's house, but yeah. Check that baby out. This is my pride and joy right here. I've carried this thing across many homes. I've got my little tube amp hidden under the bed. Watch this. I'm gonna tuck Bob in. He's gonna be so annoyed. Good night, Bob. Oh, he's sleepy. Yeah, I've got my amp under here right next to the litter box. This is the nightmare world underneath my bed. Back there is where Bob takes his victims to dismember them. I have to go back there every once in a while and check to find like decapitated mice and things like that. But he's cute, right? We forgive him because he's cute. He's never caught a rat. I don't know if there are any rats around here, honestly. His main prey is mice. He's also a big fan of voles, not moles, voles, which are like psycho mice. Best I could describe it. They're like big fat mice with no tail, and they're just like way crazier than mice. When he brings them in here, they fight back. Like they're not mice will just kind of like go paralyzed and freeze up, and voles are like fuck you, and they'll just go ham on your ass. They'll when I grab them with gloves, they'll just chew the shit out of the gloves trying to escape, and I'm like, chill, dude, I'm trying to save you. But yeah, my MO with the rodent situation is he'll bring them in like a good mouser, but I don't really care. Like they're not doing any harm. They don't get into the house. If they ever got into the house, they'd be doomed. And so like I don't have a pest problem. So when he brings them in, I just catch them with my hands and take them out somewhere far away and release them. Unless he gets to them first, and then there's nothing I can do. But I try my best. Yes, he's a good protector. A snake could get through the door if they were there at just the right time, but it shuts with a magnet, so they wouldn't be able to push through this normally. If it does stay open sometimes like that, but I don't think even then I don't think they get in. In the summertime, I I leave the door open a lot. I put up a screen here, and one night, very scary night, I woke up to Bob hissing, and there was a snake like inside. I was not cool with that. Back then, I used to kill the snakes, and I actually kind of feel bad about that now. I have a little grabber thing now that when they show up, I can grab them and take them out somewhere else. My power source, Zeno, is the power. Um, that's why I say in my descriptions that I'm kind of pseudo off grid ish, because technically, hell, technically you're not really off grid if you have grid power. I don't know. I was amazed to find that this property has access to grid power, so I just went ahead and made it happen. But everything else is off grid. My water, sewer, internet, all of that is provided on site. But electricity, it just wasn't practical to get like a fully off grid solar system when grid power is available. It's so expensive and so complicated to set those up. So I kind of wish that I had, just for simplicity. Like if I'd known I was going to be sort of marketing this lifestyle so much, it would have been much simpler to just be like, I'm off grid. End of story. But now I have to have hem and haw about it, and it's annoying. Absolutely, Emily. Uh, what's out here to spook me? Mostly bobcat. Mostly um, mountain lions. There are bobcats, which are potentially dangerous to Bob, ironically. I did not name him after bobcats, by the way. You know, he is Bob the cat. Um, I have never seen a bobcat out here. I think they're very uncommon, but that is a potential risk to Bob. Um, Coyotes would be the main risk to him, and those are definitely around here. But I have a system that I feel pretty good about. I I put Bob inside after dark. Once nightfall happens, I lock him up, and that's mostly the time when the predators are out. So there's it's not foolproof. I mean, he's there's some risk, but it's a calculated risk that I feel pretty good about, and I haven't had any close calls so far. I mean, if he ever does get into trouble, he has so many things to climb up. He's really good at climbing trees, as you've seen. He practices every day. He'll go out and just like practice his escape bolt. That's like that my last video when you see him just running across the field up onto a tree. He does that all the time. Just like as far as I can tell, it's just for practice. Because he'll be walking with me, and then for no reason at all, he'll just be like boom, and he'll go off, bolt across the property up to the nearest tree, and rocket up there. So I feel like if he ever did run into a coyote, he'd probably be fine because you know, he knows what's up. He's pretty careful. But yeah, as far as dangers to me, it's mountain lions. Um, that's there are bears out here. I've actually seen a couple, but it's mostly black bears, which are pretty much not dangerous. Um, Grizzly bears do exist, but be very unlikely to encounter one out here. And um, mountain lions are the more likely encounter because they like black bears are scared of people. Mountain lions are kind of neutral about humans. Like they generally avoid them, but if they are in a bad mood or if they're particularly hungry or something, they might try to get you. So when I go on my little walks, I swear by frontiersman bear spray, bear attack deterrent to deter bears from attacking humans. I keep this thing locked and loaded at my hip when I venture into the deep territory, ready at a moment's notice to. So it's actually I mean, I do have the gun, and I may get a pistol of some kind, but it's just it's way easier to carry a little can of bear spray than a big old gun, and it's just something I can stick in my pocket, and it's apparently more effective than a gun, unless you have like a real hunting gun on you, which I'm not gonna walk around on casual strolls with like a serious rifle. Like it's more effective than a 22 would be. So it just makes sense to me. It's not as cool. I would feel like much more of a badass, walking with my anti-bear pistol. But nobody's here to see me being a badass, so who cares? I get to be practical when no one's around. An air horn, yes, that'll do it for sure. Help! Help! This bear is assaulting my rights. Bears don't want to get canceled, If I just raise that alarm that this bear is being problematic, it'll run right out of there. I do kind of want to get a gun, though. I mean, I have this gun, but it would be nice to have a pistol, like, in my car or something. Just because, like, I go on weird adventures, and there's weird stuff out here. You never know. Where did my whiskey go? Oh, and someone mentioned solar. Um, Solar is possible out here for sure. I mean, there's tons of sunlight out here. Um, it's it's tricky because the reason I didn't do solar for my primary power source, I'm now on a quest to find where I set my whiskey glass. Was it the piano incident? No. Um, there it is. Solar. Oh fuck! There's gnats in my whiskey. No, I'm gonna pick these things out and drink it anyway. Look what happened. They got in there. Left it alone for 3 minutes. Solar is great as a supplement, and I want to do that someday to just offset my power usage. Although I'm a single guy. I don't do anything that uses extensive power. It's just like me and my computer. It's probably not even worth it. But I would like to do it someday just on principle. But the problem with off-grid solar, let me just get these flies out of my whiskey so I can drink it. Fuck it, I'll just grab them. I'm gonna pour my whiskey through my colander. The strange problems of here's my solution. Um, yeah, okay. Switching glasses. So I'm just straining the flies out of my whiskey real quick. There we go. There's only two of them. What the hell are those things? They're not flies. I wouldn't do this with like real flies. They're like fruit flies or some kind of weird desert monster fruit flies. But if any drink can survive intact, it would be whiskey. Um, so, yes, that's exactly what the gnats say. What's this? They did die happy. In fact, they're still alive in the strainer, but no, never mind. They stopped moving. They're dead. So to do fully off grid solar, it's a kind of a bullshit situation because you have to get enough batteries to collect enough sun in the winter. So in the summer or most of the year, it's no problem. But if you want to have power year round, you have to have enough batteries to collect enough during the sunny days to last you for weeks and weeks of hardly any sun. So it's really more practical for like vacation cabins and things that you're not in year round because then you don't have to worry about the winter issue. If you're there year round, it's like it's a fuck ton of batteries and it's really demoralizing. Like, really? Because you're only going to use these for a month out of the year, but if you need power. So I I talked to the solar guys and they're like, honestly, if you have access to grid power, it's just a vanity project to make it off grid. Like there's no practical excuse for it. It's so much cheaper and more efficient to just connect to the grid at that point. Get some solar panels to supplement the grid, but being fully off grid when there's a power line right next to you is just kind of silly. And I decided like I don't have time to be silly anymore. You know, I don't have time to make huge expensive leaps just for show. You know, the principle of it, I love the idea of being supported by the sun. There's something very satisfying about the thought of being like disconnected from the supply chain and everything. But the other thing I realized is you can't escape the supply chain. Like even if you're the most hardcore, you know, doomsday prepper, you got your solar setup so you don't have to be dependent on the power grid. You're dependent on the battery grid. You know, those batteries burn out in 5 years. You have to replace them. If the apocalypse happens, you're still fucked. Like, there's no escaping being fucked if you need electricity. That's the reality. Like you wind power, really, well, anything that needs a battery. So if you need batteries, say goodbye. If you can get by on just the power you're generating right now, in like real time, then I guess you could be off the supply chain. But batteries are a big problem. I mean, in a lot of ways, batteries are worse for the environment than normal power generation methods. It's kind of this weird scam where we're like, you know, things like Tesla cars and stuff. It's like, yeah, you're not using gas. You're using lithium mines and like slave labor and this horrific supply chain that is used to create these batteries. So I don't know. It's demoralizing, but I reached a point where I'm just like, I'll figure this out later when I get my real house. For now, I'm just trying to survive. So, yes, Karma, you missed the stroll. I didn't really go too far today because I had to stay close to my whiskey source. Yes, the smoked chicken. I probably should get going, honestly. Um, okay, well, there's a little wisdom from a real off gridder here. Um, yeah, you know, that's one way to do it. Run the generator during the wait during the non-sunny days. Yeah, yeah. There's a way to do a hybrid system like that. I personally I hated the idea of because my site is so tiny. Generators are so loud. I was like, God, am I gonna have to sit next to this like blasting engine for the entire winter? It's gonna drive me insane. There's ways to do it. You're right. Um, and I'm gonna look into it further. Well, it's too late now. I already have power on site, but if I ever move to another site, I'll reconsider it. But for now, I'm already committed, so it is what it is. Yes, that is Radiohead behind me. You're the first person to recognize that. That is actually an original print signed by Stanley Donwood himself. That's a from OK Computer. Actually, it wasn't used in the album. It was used on a single. I think it was the cover of one of the singles, but from the same batch of art. One of my prized possessions. It's you can't really tell from the video, but it's like actually silk screened rather than just a printout. Like the red part is like a different kind of ink, and it's cool. I like this image. Uh, big Radiohead fan, is typical middle-aged white guy stuff. So be it. Another one of those things I bought when I had disposable income. It was only a couple $100, but it was for an art print. It was my first art print. It felt expensive at the time. But yeah, I should go. Honestly, this is too much fun. I want to keep going, but my neighbors got over there with smoked chicken, probably wondering where the hell I went. So I should wrap it up. But I think I'll be doing these more often. I didn't really go on an adventure this time. I usually like to go on a stroll, but I would like to do that. I'm gonna get into some kind of like regular routine of shenanigans and outings. One of the things I want to do on this channel that always been planning from the beginning, and just waiting to have enough spare time, is I want to like go out into that the hills beyond and I want to do some exploring. I want to, go on treks and take you guys with me. So stay tuned for that. And thank you everybody for hanging out with me tonight. This has been fun. Maybe this will be kind of like my excuse to drink every week. Is like I'll take one day if I'm not going to go out with real friends in real life. I'll hang out here and not drink semi alone, physically alone, mentally surrounded by warm company. So I appreciate it. Um, and yeah, maybe after this is done, I'll go back through the comments and see if I missed anything, any interesting questions or something, and respond in the comments on the offline video. So, thanks everybody. Marion out.